Danny? 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 Danny?
Have you got any leeches for this?
Welcome back to Tied Down TV, the punk rock opinion show with me, Geoff.
And Danny.
And welcome to Halloween 2, our second Halloween special. So tell them what we've done for this one, Dan.
Well, first off, I don't know if anyone remembers last year on our first Halloween special, I took the piss out of Geoff because of his awful pedo Mike Myers mask. However, I think this time he's probably won, and I'm the one who looks the tits, because I ordered this off Amazon, and it looked a lot better than when it came and I put it on. I was like, what is that? It's absolutely terrible, innit? And I can't see shit. So we'll just have to hope for the best here.
Yeah, definitely.
But back to the show. We're talking about terrifying albums now. Can music be terrifying? Of course it can be terrifying. And we haven't got any barriers on this episode. Everything counts, every genre counts. We've decided we could pick anything as long as it was unsettling music. Music that when you're listening to it, you're like, oh, I don't even know if I can get through this.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. So yeah, like you said, unsettling could scare you. It could just make you feel very uncomfortable listening to it. It's, you know, it exhibits those sort of stronger emotions in that respect. I will say, like, a lot of what I've picked is definitely all unsettling, uncomfortable music. But I am actually a fan of all 5 of my albums quite heavily, like, so. I'm also a fan of a couple of yours as well.
I don't know some of the albums I've picked I think are great, some of them I think are just horrible, and I picked them for a reason, and that's because they're fucking horrible.
Yeah, fair. I like that. I like uncomfortable and horrible music sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm going to go first here, and I've picked what I consider the scariest album ever. Right, now, when I say scariest album, someone recommended me this band, right, to help me sleep.
Yeah.
Okay? They recommended this to help me sleep. I was going through a doom metal phase, and someone said, doom metal, like, 20 years ago around the Liverpool scene, it took over the hardcore thing. It got really big.
Definitely.
And this band played in Liverpool as well. So this band is Sunn, and the album I've picked is Black One. Right, now, this album is terrifying. It's absolutely nightmare fuel.
Mm-hmm.
It is a great album. This isn't one of the ones I would say I dislike. But I've got to say, when I'm sitting there listening to this, which I'll be honest is not very often, it's the singer, or would you call it singing?
They have various vocalists on that album.
Okay, well, the main vocalist for this album was apparently a claustrophobia sufferer. Was locked in a casket to do his vocals on this.
Malefic, is it, from Disaster?
Yeah. Right. The second song, It Took the Night to Believe, has got this creepy, horrible guitar riff that goes over and over. It goes, na 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 na, and it's just, Sunn are an experience, aren't they? Like, they're a live experience more than anything.
Amazing.
And I just think this is one of them albums that when I hear it, like, it just sounds like you're on your deathbed.
Yeah.
It's you've realised as you're crossing over to the other side, you've realised, holy shit, it's not peaceful. I'm about to head into the ultimate darkness.
That's right.
That's what it reminds me of. You a fan of Sunn?
A huge fan of Sunn.
Yeah.
Huge fan. Seen them live. It is something else live. I actually left about 15-20 minutes before the end because I was battered by the sound.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they some of their slogans on their t-shirts say "Ever breathe a frequency," because you feel the vibration. The loudest band I've ever seen live.
Well, when they played in Liverpool, just sorry to interrupt again.
No, go on.
Then the bar next door went in to complain because the glasses kept falling off the counters.
Doesn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah.
Before they start as well, the room gets completely full with smoke, like a dry ice smoke or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can't fucking see hardly anything, and then all of a sudden you'll just hear a big that big droning chord. If you do want some Sunn to fall asleep to, that's not the album I would have given you to recommend. Yeah. Some of their other albums are a lot easier, more just drone based. Yeah. But yeah, incredible band.
I wouldn't even know what to call this. Would you call it drone? What is this?
The drone metal, I would say that's got like a lot, because there's obviously two vocalists.
It says ambient on the fuck.
It's ambient metal, isn't it? I suppose.
Ambient.
But it's black metal. A lot of that stuff, I think, on there. The vocalists they use are black metal vocalists. I think that's more influenced by that person.
Maybe. I wouldn't know what to call it. Experimental, noisy.
Experimental drone, yeah.
Stuff like that. There's people out there that know a lot more about this type of stuff than me, I can tell you that.
That's a great pick. Alright, so I'm gonna go with it and stay with that, and I've gone for Khanate or Khanate. I'm not sure how you say the name properly.
Khanate, doesn't he play for...
Yeah. First record, self-titled, and I picked this first because he's just picked Sunn, and in this band as well is Stephen O'Malley from Sunn, and was also in Burning Witch, various other projects. This is also a drone metal noise journey, shall we say. It's 5 tracks. I think it's probably clocks in just under an hour. Oof. It's fucking... Oh, God. It's like... slow, unsettling tempos, but rather than like a lot of Sunn where it's like the droning, big spacey chord, like they're ringing out for a while, this is like bursts of sharp noise. The vocals are very shrieky and shrill at times, jarring. As a lot of doom and drone music should be, it is very dark and unsettling, and not that like the first time I listened to these, because I was a big fan of Sunn, I did struggle to get through it. However, now this album I think is fucking just... They're an incredible band, but this album is just amazing. Yeah, like I said, just fucking 5 tracks of pure...
The first time I ever heard... Well, I call them Khanate. I don't know how to say the name. I just always call them Khanate.
I think that might be right.
The first time I heard Khanate was years ago in Brian Sales' car. Yeah. And he went through a period of listening to this kind of stuff that we're talking about now.
Yeah.
And it was probably my introduction to that stuff, actually. This type of stuff we're talking about was in Brian Sales' car.
Yeah.
When we go on long drives to wherever, nights out, whatever, and you'd be like, what the hell is this? And he was going through a big period of being into all that stuff at the time.
I must admit, I've had a period of that myself.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a time for it, I guess, but it does, yeah. Khanate and Sunn. And who's that? Earth, are they?
I guess early Earth for sure.
Yeah, they're kind of all that kind of stuff. My next pick, I've gone for the debut album by the band Abruptum, who were part of the early Swedish, I believe, black metal scene. Yeah. In my opinion, this isn't black metal at all. At all. This, right, how can I describe this? I'm not even going to try and pronounce what this is called, right? I've got this album only because it was released on Death Like Silence, which is Euronymous' label, and I think all those Death Like Silence releases are essential if you're a collector.
Classics for sure.
This is random sounds, random noise, an all-round unpleasant experience. That's what I'd call this album. It's just a sliding soundscape, to fucking despair.
Yeah.
That's how I would describe this album. It's the vocals are random as anything. They just come in. The percussion's random as anything. It's just like they just got into a room with a load of random, not even instruments, just garden utensils, and just gone. But yeah, creepy as fuck. And like I say, just a all-round unpleasant listening experience that I've never got to the end of it. I probably never will, and it'll probably never get played again because I don't enjoy it. It's not enjoyable. And when I say it's not enjoyable, it's because I'm boring. I mean, no, it's not enjoyable because it makes me feel fucking uncomfortable. There you go.
See, I'm not really a fan of that either, although I have heard it and various other stuff of theirs. I think the idea of that is to make you feel exactly how it makes you feel. Yeah. Isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let's fucking poof.
Yeah.
Alright, next pick for me. So I've gone with The Drift by Scott Walker, who also has a connection with Sunn.
What's on that, please?
You won't know any of that stuff, I wouldn't have thought. unless you listen to his later. So this was his 13th album, came out in 2006. Although, say his 13th album, if you're a fan of Scott Walker, you know a lot of his middle period ones that have never been reissued. He hates them. They were just, you know...
Walker Brothers were amazing.
Absolutely. Outstanding. Unbelievable. Walker Brothers are amazing. Scott 1 and up through 3 and 4, amazing.
Remember that song, There's No Regrets?
That's amazing.
That's such a good song.
Beautiful song. Exactly. Amazing. And then he went solo and he was doing the crooning and he was covering like Jack Brel songs. He started writing his own stuff on 3 and 4 till the band comes in anyway. And then he disappeared for a while, and in '95 he came out with an album called Tilt, which was a fucking dark and challenging. I nearly picked it, but this was the follow-up 11 years later. And jeez fucking Christ, this is an album I actually do really, really enjoy very occasionally now, and I see exactly what he was doing with it, but this took me a long time to get through all the way. This is just... I mean, so around this period, there's a documentary called 30th Century Man, and it's a documentary about Scott Walker, and he's the making of this album as well. And there's a part in it where he's using a slab of beef and punching it for percussion, like recording that.
Do you think he is Rocky Balboa?
Like clanging all kinds of weird shit together to get percussive sounds. Very dark, very troubling, and he says in that documentary he suffers with a lot of nightmares, and, well, after you listen to this, no fucking shit, mate. But an absolute legend, and this, he did like a trilogy, Tilt, this, and his last one, Bish Bosh, and then he did the collab album with Sunn, which is great as well. Soust, or Soust, however you pronounce it. But yeah, this is just disturbing, disjointed, fucking uncomfortable from start to finish. But, yeah, it's still great.
My next pick, I've gone for the first demo by Bratislavan black metal band Krolok. When the Moon Sang Our Songs. Now, it's... The band have got an obsession clearly with Count Orlok from Nosferatu. Mm-hmm. As you can see, I think he appears on most of their album covers. Now, this is obviously a lot more of a raw production than their later albums. It's the demo, it's the first thing they did. It's just pure horror-fed black metal. Think of those early Dark Throne albums, yeah?
Yeah.
We're talking that level of shit production.
Oh, but that's my favourite.
No, yeah, you probably buzz off this, actually.
I've never heard it, like...
Yeah, you probably really like this. And it's like, it's got, like, kind of haunting keyboards in the background. And a lot of the bands that used keyboards during, like, in black metal are usually the more polished ones, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah.
But there's something about the fact that they use keyboards with such this awful production that makes it really haunting. Now, the other reason I picked this, obviously, what I've just mentioned about Count Orlok, he appears on a lot of... I mean, is there anything more terrifying than Nosferatu, the original one?
One of the scariest films I've ever made.
It's honestly, like, Nosferatu, the original film, is literally terrifying. Mm-hmm. Like, the sound all the way through that movie, when he first appears in the archway of the castle and stuff, it's just a terrifying film. It really is one of the scariest films ever made. So that, coupled with the fact that he's so associated with this band, like I said, it's just pure horror-fed black metal, and it creeps me out.
Cool, I've just dropped it. Never heard it.
You'd like that?
Alright, next pick, third one for me. I've gone for the third album, Delirium Cordia by Fantomas. So Fantomas, supergroup featuring Mike Patton on vocals, who's obviously very famous for being in Faith No More, but about a million other projects that are miles better than Faith No More in my opinion. King Buzzo from Melvins on guitar, Dave Lombardo on drums from Slayer, and I think Trevor Dunn is the bassist, who also plays in Mr. Bungle. They're an amazing band, actually, fucking incredible. First album, it's like weird grindcore, noisy things, like it's hard to explain what they do. But the second album, and I nearly picked that, but I actually think it's a beautiful record. It's called Director's Cut, and it's all covers of like old movie songs and things. Patton obviously doesn't tend to sing much vocally, rather he uses his voice as like a scatting as like an instrument. This album is one track for 75 minutes, I think. And it is basically supposed to be the experience of having surgery without anaesthesia. And yeah, to get through it does often feel like that. If you look at some of the artwork on it, it's taken from actual medical texts, you know, a bit Carcass-esque, I guess you could say. And there's like some little voice samples in there that sound like in an operating theatre. It could be really easy and quiet, and then it'll just sharp bursts of noise here and there, and Patton's vocals. Incredible band, and like I say, Patton's best band for me. Maybe this isn't their best album, but it is by far the most fucking unsettling, creepiest, darkest thing I think that they put out of their 4. And I do enjoy it, although I wouldn't say I sit and listen to it all the way through many times. The times that I have thought it's an amazing experience. They're an incredible band, so go and check it out.
So my next pick is easily the most well-known album, I think, out of both mine and Geoff's choices tonight.
Yeah.
You probably have it in your collection as well.
Oh, I definitely do.
And it's a very well-known album. It was mainly picked for one song, and I think this song is one of the most terrifying songs ever, and I've gone for the 1970 debut by Black Sabbath. Even the fucking cover is scary, isn't it? You know the song I'm talking about? I'm talking about the opening track, Black Sabbath. I mean, that song, you play that to a kid, they're shitting themselves.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That horrible opening riff that just plays over and over again, and then when it calms down and he comes in with that voice, what that's done before me.
God, no.
It's just terrifying, isn't it? And I think, in terms of just like a metal song, a metal track, it's got to be the scariest song ever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not just talking about these like albums we're talking about here that are like hour-long music, you know.
Yeah.
I'm talking about one song. Black Sabbath is a terrifying song.
Yeah.
We talk about the album as we usually do if you would like. We all know how great Black Sabbath are. We all know how brilliant this album is all the way through. I don't want to go over too much because of the theme of the show tonight, but Behind the Wall of Sleep is my favourite.
Incredible song.
Favourite song. I think, although we've never picked this album before, I think I remember saying on a show once that obviously don't smoke weed, but if I was going to smoke weed ever, I think Behind the Wall of Sleep would be the song I would choose to smoke weed to.
I can see that.
Yeah, but I've got to say, that song, Black Sabbath, and that combined with that cover, I always think when I listen to this, these must have been influenced. I mean, I'm a fan of Black Sabbath, but I'm not someone who's really deep dived into everything about them.
Yeah.
When I listen to this, I think they have to have been influenced by the Hammer horror stuff that was going on in Britain.
I imagine they were.
At the time.
I mean, they took the name, didn't they, from something that was on the cinema show across the street when they were releasing.
Yeah, they had to have been. But yeah, there you go.
Well, that bam, bam, and the down, they used to call it the devil's note, didn't they? Because it sounds evil.
Oh, there you go. And obviously the lyrics are quite satanic as well.
Yeah, so, alright. Fucking incredible. One of the best albums ever made.
Yeah.
Alright, fourth pick for me. I've picked a guy who I'm a massive fan of, but this is probably only one of his albums that I've struggled to get all the way through. I've gone for The Black Rider by Tom Waits. Now, this is a very... you know Tom Waits, obviously, especially the latter second half of his career, the second act, if you will. He went a lot more experimental and noisy, using what he called this junkyard orchestra and things like that, but just writes such amazing words to go with it, and an incredible artist I'm a big fan of. This is the soundtrack to a play that he wrote with William S. Burroughs, and it's about a guy who sells his soul to the devil for, I think it's a gun, and the devil gets to decide where one bullet goes and then it kills his wife, spoiler alert. It's like fucking weird, dark cabaret mixed with
something like Tales from the Crypt.
Folk music, but like European, like Eastern European folk music, and just like it's very disjointed, very disorientating at times, as some of his stuff can be. But like I say, like most of it, I enjoy heavily. This one, I like it. I don't love it, and I still struggle to get all the way through it because I do find some of the stuff on it very it's too much even for me as a Tom Waits fan. So I thought I had to pick Tom Waits because he does make some people uncomfortable when they listen to him. But this is probably the only one of his albums that's ever really made me feel quite uncomfortable, so I've gone that with Black Rider.
What does Tom do if the bus is late?
He waits.
Hey! Made that up then.
That was a good one.
Right, so my last pick, I've gone for something a little different, but I've got to be honest, that this terrified me, and some tracks do still get skipped. Now, before I show what this is, I just want to say out there, I am not a gamer. Gaming has never really been my thing since I was a kid anyway.
Yeah.
Right. However, I did have a bit of a thing for the first 2 of this series of games, and I used to play it with my mates, and I'll go a bit more, but I've gone for the soundtracks to both Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2. Composed by Akira Yamamoka. This guy's a genius. I've got to say that. Now, the songs range from beautiful, tranquil melodies to literally hell-rattling noise that I struggle to get through it. Because I know, because they serve as a fuel for the atmosphere of the game.
Of course,
right.
I'm familiar.
Right, now, my mate Mike, from when I was younger, he used to be obsessed with Silent Hill, and what we'd do is when a new Silent Hill would come out, we'd go around, a few of us would go, like Garth and that, we'd go around to his house, and like late at night on a Friday night or something, we'd try and get it completed by the Sunday. So that would be like going to his, let's say like 9 o'clock at night, and then going home at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right, and so, I swear to God, nothing has ever scared me more than Silent Hill.
Okay.
Like, no film, nothing. Right, and when you've been playing them games till like 2 in the morning, and you're walking home on your own, and you're thinking of that static and those things, and it's fucking horrendous. And sleepless nights and all sorts of stuff associated with Silent Hill. Absolutely brilliant genius that came out of the minds of the people who created that game. Nothing comes close to it in terms of, I mean, it might seem old news now because I think a lot of games have come out and have been influenced by Silent Hill. But some of the, I guess at the time, the thing we had was Resident Evil before that was probably the close. Doesn't compare, does it? No. Resident Evil's like flipping...
It's kid stuff compared
to Silent Hill, which really does mess with your psyche. It really does. And I remember once even like saying, like we were playing it, and I was like, I can't turn it off. I can't go any further into this. When we were getting towards the end of it, because it gets more and more twisted as it goes on, right? And you get and all this, and you're getting more and more into the Never realm or the Nowhere realm stuff. And a lot of what's going on and a lot of how it's affecting you is down to the music.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've got to say though, take the scary tracks away and the scary bits of music. Some of the actual nice bits of music are absolutely, no, I don't like using this word, beautiful. They really are. Amazing pieces of music, like, you know, like the more tranquil and nice tracks on it. Absolutely amazing. One of the best game soundtracks ever, I guess.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, it's both composed by the same guy. Amazing.
Yeah, really cool. Nice. Alright, last one for me. Now this is probably my favourite album that I've picked because I actually adore this album, but it did unsettle me first time I heard it. I've gone for F sharp, A sharp, Infinity by Godspeed, You Black Emperor. So Godspeed, You Black Emperor.
Got some weird records, Geoff.
Are a very well-known post-rock band from Canada who make instrumental music, very long pieces of music. This is their debut album. And this wasn't the first. So the first one I heard was the second one, Lift Your Skinny Fists in the Air Like Antennas, I think it's called. Oh, fucking incredible music. But although some of it was dark and a little bit unsettling, I actually found some of it really uplifting and it was amazing. And there is some uplifting moments on this, but this one starts with the Dead Flag Blues. And it's like a monologue speaking over it. It's almost like a film soundtrack, very droning string chords coming in. And it sounds like the fucking end of the world. It sounds like the world has just ended. And this takes you on like this emotional journey through it. As I say, it's strings, guitars. The samples they use is like found sounds. And at the beginning of the second side is East Hastings. They have a preacher shouting. You know, almost like you can't really. It's a little bit unintelligible, but it's like Doomsday almost, like shouting.
Yeah.
Some of I think it was East Hastings was used in 28 Days Later actually, which obviously is a film about the end of the world. So, but yeah, so I actually think this is it's an incredible record, very very beautiful at times, and also very dark. And they're one of the few instrumental bands who I think would be like, just they can tell such a story without any words really. Kind of get and feel what the songs are about almost. So yeah, that's my last pick.
What are you doing picking stuff? What are you doing buying stuff like that?
I love that's one of my favourite records, man.
I mean, a lot of the records that I've picked here, they've just befell upon my person over the years. You've bought stuff like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, man, as I said, I'm a fan of all of them, and as you know, I like weird and dark and experimental music.
Fair play.
But there's our picks, so you know the score.
What disturbs you?
Yeah.
What haunts your dreams in the night?
What's game soundtracks keep you up at night?
What's the soundtracks to your nightmares?
Exactly. And, you know, like, subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. And we're on the socials, Instagram and Facebook. Come and jump on, give us follows, likes and messages. And we'll see you next week.